1. I'm not very new to the industry, as I've been working as a food runner for over 1 year. I like that job as I did not have to deal with difficult customers as much as servers. But for better tips, I decided to apply for a server job at a small and busy Asian restaurant. I've been trained and have been working for 3 weeks now, so it's a little overwhelming, as only 2 servers at one time with 11 tables, not to mention tons of to-go orders, but not too overbearing. Yet. There's been lots of small accidents that kinda make me want to quit the job, cause the new owner is not used to running the restaurant, I believe, and always tells us servers not to make mistakes. Any mistakes made she would blame on us and warn us not to make again. To be honest, in over 1 year working in another busy restaurant franchise, I see everyone, me included, made a mistake at least once every single day, and they just fix it and then move on. Her daughter is even worse. She works at making rolls in the sushi bar, after failing the server training, and always comes to the server station to check on us, help the customers pay the bills, her only favorite part of being a server, tells us, especially me, what to do with not a very professional tone, and with such a big attitude, confronts me aggressively whenever some mistake has happened in the restaurant instead of focusing on fixing it together. Okay, to the most recent story that makes me write this. It was a Friday night, busiest night every week. The to-go orders are crazy. All 11 tables are full, with some tables up to 8 people. I worked with another server that night, Jess. We took orders, delivered food like crazy, while customers have to go to the server station to pay the bill. That night, while I prepared to bring a tray of food to a table, a man came to the station to pay the bill, so I put the tray down to put the number into the machine so he could swipe the card. The daughter jumped in, took the spot, helped him pay, gave the receipt, blah blah, instead of making rolls and the orders coming in like storms. I saw it then. I was like, oh well, back to my food then, but I have no intention to let her do that again, as I don't want any problems happening that us servers would be blamed for. My damn intuition. The second time she jumped in, trying to help, again, just to find me already helping the customer, and they were only waiting for me to come back, so I gave them the receipt. That second time, I immediately let her know not to help customers pay their bills anymore, as it's Jess and my responsibility, and she completely denied it. Things went smoothly until the end of the day. We found out that there was an order paper, let's say it belonged to table 2, worth $100 completely unpaid. After a while, we found out that table 2 had another order that had been paid worth $80. Since they ordered 2 times, and one helped process the payment and let them pay the order, while tossing the other $100 order aside, even though Jess and I make sure those 2 papers stay next to each other. Of course, I connected the dots immediately and know it was the daughter because, first, I saw her with my own eyes that night. Jess was busy running around, so she wasn't sure. Second, us servers are trained to write the amount of payment each time on the order paper, if the order was paid separately, so at the end we can double-check with the receipt easily. That order paper had no amount even written, though it was paid separately. Yes, me and Jess looked our eyes out through hundreds of receipts that night to find the 2 receipts for that order. So for table 2, the $80 order was paid. The $100 order wasn't. When I talked to the daughter about her involvement, she denied even coming near the server station. There was no camera or any proper evidence to prove, so naturally the owner blamed it on us, especially warned me. Me and Jess just accepted it, 'cause nothing much we could do, but I was very annoyed about it, not gonna lie. Well, that's the end of my story. Thanks for listening, everyone, until now. Very much appreciated. 2. Our final table of the night, a couple come in for a meal. They were booked in very close to closing time, but whatever, you work till the last customers are fed and watered and happy. The man orders a ribeye steak, medium rare, plus sauces and sides. The steak alone costs £35. It's not a cheap steak, so you expect it to be good. We don't even have the chance to check on their table, they're also not in my section, before he calls me over and says he's not normally one to complain. But the steak is not a good steak. He shows me huge amounts of fat and gristle that he had to spit out. Yes, ribeye is a fattier cut, but there shouldn't be gristle, and the amount of edible meat left over is not a whole lot. I apologize for the inconvenience. I ask him if he'd like to order another, or if he'd like to order something else. He asks if the rest of the ribeye we have in stock is the same, and if so, he'll order something else instead. I take his plate back to the kitchen and tell the chef the customer was unhappy with the steak, and chef blows up.
There's nothing wrong with that steak. Where's the fat? Where's the gristle?
I point to both.
Right, I'll show you how fatty it is.
And he cuts the fat off, slaps a bit of meat on the pass, and slices it up.
That steak is perfect. Take it back out of him and show him how perfect it is.
He slops the now sliced ribeye onto a clean plate and tells me to go back and tell our customer how perfect his steak is. My jaw is hanging open. I am absolutely humiliated. The customer is humiliated. I literally don't know what to say, so I stumble through a few phrases about fat and, would you still prefer to order something else? The man is speechless for a few seconds and asks if this is how the head chef normally deals with these issues. And I just can't bring myself to tell him that, yes, this is not the first time he's done this. This is not the first time he's thrown a tantrum because his steaks have been sent back. This is not the first time that he's sliced them up as if his customers don't know how to cut up their own food and sent me back out to pick up the pieces. Bless their hearts, this is actually the first time the customers haven't lost their shit at me about it. He ends up ordering a sirloin instead, but chef says the kitchen is closed. I finally lose my shit with the chef and tell him he is still here, the kitchen is still here, and we are not sending this man home without feeding him. Chef rolls his eyes and fries up the grill again, but says the man will pay for the steak he didn't eat. I insist we can't charge someone for a product they didn't consume, but chef says it's not his problem. Because of course, it's not his problem. It's my problem when I have to bring the bill. The man gets his replacement steak, he says he really enjoys it, he thanks me profusely. But his wife has long since finished her meal. It's nearing 10 p.m. by now, their date night is likely ruined. I hope to God my manager took it off the bill after the chef left for the night. I feel so disrespected. Save from going behind the pass and making the man a steak myself, I just don't know what I'm supposed to do in that situation. The customer complaint was absolutely valid, and he has a right to send an expensive steak back if it's not good enough. It's embarrassing that the customers saw that I was embarrassed. It's embarrassing that I have to play the role of the messenger to be shot at from both sides. It's embarrassing that seemingly the only person who had my back was a customer that wasn't even in my section. So I'm done with being played for a mug. Next time I might actually make the chef go out. I love where I work most of the time, and I'm scared of losing my job. But if he's so confident in his skills, why send someone else, i.e. me and other servers, out to vouch for him? His success rate is like 90%. He is an excellent chef. He just can't take any criticism, and it's so annoying. Nobody can win all the time, and he needs to realize that. Even if someone sends something back that's perfect, it's not his job to send it back out again and claim it's perfect. Just replace it. It's not like it's coming out of his pocket. 3. It's late. The kitchen has just been cleaned. The waitresses are bussing the tables. There are 5 minutes before I shut down takeout. The phone rings. I answered the phone right away. The customer asks when the restaurant closes. I say it's 9:11 now. We need to have everyone out by 10 p.m. The lady on the phone says, "Oh great, I'm just gonna walk over now. I'll order takeout when I get there." I quickly tell her takeout ends at 9:15. I can quickly take your order now, put it in, and we will have it ready when you get here. She agrees. Okay, I'm gonna order something I've had before. It was a veggie burger. Great. Was it our avocado imp? Oh, she's very angry. I can hear it in her voice. No, it was a veggie burger. Okay, can I put you on hold for a moment? I believe our only veggie burger at the moment is the avocado impossible. But I can double check for you. Seems impossible right now. Yes, do that. She already sounds smug. I can't quite explain it other than I know she's going to be difficult. She is on hold for about 30 seconds. I am right, the only vegetarian burger is the impossible one, but we can sub a veggie or impossible burger in place of a regular beef patty. I calmly tell her, thank you for holding. If you would not like the avocado burger, we can sub in a veggie burger or an impossible burger in place of any beef patty. Well, that's what I want. And I want it on multigrain bread like I had it before. They put it on 2 slices of bread on each side and they didn't charge me anything extra for it. I pause quickly. I'm honestly not quite sure what to say to what sounds like a lie. And I'm basically done. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yes, I do, like they used 4 pieces of bread. I repeat what she said back. I think I can do that, even if my manager tells me I should charge extra for more bread next shift. Then I'll know for next time. Yes, now what do they usually have on these? The lady asks. I'm not sure, I don't exactly know what you want. She still has yet to clarify what burger she's going off of. Well, vegetables. What vegetables do they put on a burger? Like lettuce, tomato? She's talking to me like I'm 5. It's different for every burger, but yes, we do have lettuce and tomato, and we can add that to any burger. I want that. I want lettuce, tomato, no onion. I want that sauce you guys have too. Also, I don't want any iceberg lettuce. I'm healthy. I only eat romaine or what's that other stuff you guys have? I glance at the clock. It's 9:14. I'm off in 15 minutes, and I'm not supposed to ring in anything past 9:15. I'm sorry, miss. Do you have access to our internet? What you're describing really doesn't exist, and it's getting quite late. If you're able to check out our menu online, you can see what we have. I tell her as nicely as I can. I don't have a computer next to me. Honestly, I don't see what's so difficult about this. You said you close at 10. Yes, but travel and takeout closes at 9:15. If you would like, you can come tomorrow. What am I gonna do, eat a burger at 7 a.m.? Is there anyone else I can speak to? There has to be someone. This is ridiculous. No, I am the only person working takeout tonight. And I need to clean up by myself. That's going to take a while. Then I want to speak to your manager. My managers have gone home. You can phone them tomorrow, though. Good, I will. Respectfully, don't order things that don't exist 5 minutes before closing. Please just look at our menu first. I don't mind subbing a veggie patty in for a beef patty, and I don't mind subbing in bread for a bun. We can add lettuce and tomato to whatever burger you want. Modifications are fine. Making up a completely new item is not. Especially not 5 minutes before closing and 15 minutes before I'm supposed to be going home. 4. I did a banquet serving from the ages of 13 to 20. I primarily worked one of the 3 synagogues, and the events were either private or community organized, meaning events relied on community sponsorship and were open to anyone at synagogue. Anyway, at one point, I started refusing to work community events at the largest synagogue. The reason being, I very much disliked the Rebbetzin, the rabbi's wife. She originally didn't organize events, but at some point, for some reason, she became involved. Now she is a very controlling, rude, and demanding person who has no idea or experience planning events. I dealt with her for 2 or 3 events before telling the head waitress to not hire me if the Rebbetzin was involved. It is somewhat important to mention that I did attend this synagogue as a congregant. Anyway, it started with an event I worked 6 months prior to the last one. The event ended, and after all the cleaning was done, the only thing left was to put away and get rid of the leftover food. Typically, the way it went at community events is any leftovers that remained in untouched dishes would be dropped at a soup kitchen. The remainder was typically divided up amongst any of the remaining kitchen and waitstaff that wanted it. We were standing around the food talking, waiting for the head waitress to come back with smaller trays when the Rebbetzin walks up. She asks what we are doing, and after I give her an explanation, her face goes sour. She says, "Sorry, you guys already get paid. This will go in the freezer for a later event." I mean, it was a rude way to say it, but honestly, none of us cared, since it wasn't like we were entitled to it. Anyway, for whatever reason, she wrapped up all the food herself and did the worst job. She loosely covered them in tin foil, stacked them, and tossed them in the freezer. Now, over the next few months, I was in this freezer a few times, and each time I saw the trays, and each time they were a little more uncovered. Alright, fast forward 6 months. This one a rather large dinner banquet. The way these go is between dinner and dessert, various people get up and speak. This being the case, waiters all funnel into the kitchen, dishwashers get turned off, and we all eat and converse. We knew better than to be loud and never had an issue or any noise complaints. Well, I guess the Rebbetzin decided that all the noisy waitstaff need to eat in the mold-infested, unfinished basement of this synagogue. She leads us down there, and somehow there is already food down there that had been heated. I say somehow because we were the wait and kitchen staff. No one even knew who set this up or where it was heated, but whatever. We pull back the foil, and I, as well as a few others, immediately recognize the contents. It's a 6-month-old food. Rebbetzin goes to tell us what it is before I rudely interject and describe what everything is, glaring at her the whole time. She leaves, and before anyone takes any food, I obviously tell everyone what the food is. 2 servers and 1 kitchen guy just outright say I'm done and leave. The people who stayed didn't eat it, and no one cleaned it up. I myself finished my shift, since I needed the money, but told myself never again. End of the story is a few months later. The rabbi sees me in the synagogue and asks me if I can work a community event. A bunch of other stuff had happened at this point, and I say, I don't work community events due to the involvement of your wife. And that was that. The food we ate at events was typically leftover event food if it was a buffet. Otherwise, there was always an extra tray of something for us. 5. This happened a few weeks ago. Sometimes keeps me up at night at the absurdity of it all. Long story short, I got someone fired before I caught them serving a mutual underage coworker alcohol. This is the US. There are very serious penalties for those that give, serve, or otherwise provide alcohol to someone under 21. They have guilt-tripped me into thinking that I should have also been fired since I was just as involved. Fabricated 2 other people's statements. Only the other violator had given a statement. And I heard talk that it coincided with my account and the security footage. And said that they are expecting a child, and it's all my fault that they lost their job and that I had lost a friend. We went to high school together. We were, at least in my eyes, due to their actions and behavior towards others, never friends at all. I just treated her with respect. And that they hope I'm proud of myself. Quite so. They should have been fired so many times over, except this particular incident could have resulted in the company losing money and having their liquor license being revoked, thus causing the loss of a huge chunk of our revenue and a handful of people getting fined, fired, and or jailed. They were ultimately fired by corporate, not by store management per se. probably should have considered the consequences of their actions before doing something so illegal and stupid. A week after termination, they drive around the place looking for me for whatever reason, and they ultimately decided to drive by to flip me off in front of other people, customers and co-workers. God knows what could have transpired if I was alone. I told management, who then referred it to employee relations, stating that if something happens again, the police will get involved. Then it'll become harassment and/or possible stalking. And I can't go to work without worrying about going out by myself, job-related or not. Nor can I go out no matter what without worrying about what if I see them. Since then, I haven't seen any signs of them, and I have both them and their spouses' cars' general appearance written down and memorized, just in case they decide to kick up another incident. I have since accepted another job offer that, to my knowledge, they know nothing about, so that I can better myself and try to put this behind me. I'm posting this to help get it off my chest and out of my mind. I'm honestly scared of what that person could do, but the fact that I will likely start another job in another industry is giving me some solace. I should add before I go, here in my state it's a $10,000 fine per person involved and the store involved, revoking liquor license, possible jail time, employment termination, and a ban on working anywhere that serves alcohol for 5 years, I think. Thanks for listening, and have a nice day. Hey everybody, Hellfreezer here, and thank you very much for listening to Spinning Plates, episode 176. And thank you very much to everybody who allowed me to use their stories in this video. And a big thank you to everyone who kept me company during the recording of the past 2 videos. It's been a while, and I really miss doing the live recording sessions. If you aren't already subscribed, then please click the subscribe button. Good times wait ahead if you do. Please note, good times are not guaranteed. And also click the notification bell and make sure it's set to all notifications if you'd like to be notified. Okay, we're on Saturday now, aren't we? Right, so as this is a Saturday, we'll probably do, if all goes well, a Phasmophobia stream tonight. There was a little update last week. Still haven't completely played all the little quirks in it. Haven't found all the new goals. We've had 2 of them so far. No, we've had 1 of them so far, but I think there's 3 of them. We'll have to find the others, and we'll see what else they've done to the game. Now, before we go, we're going to have a Hellfreezer's question of the day. And today's question is, what is a foodstuff that also works as a child's name? Or just a person's name, rather. But, if you're a parent, you can name your kids what you want, within reason. This is inspired by somebody mentioning Stew in the chat. So Stew is short for Stuart, right? That works as a person's name. But would you name a child Fudgesicle? I would. There's many reasons I'm not a father. That's probably one of them. Or, if they're a girl, call them Casserole. Well, I suppose Casserole could go for a boy or a girl, wouldn't it? It's kind of gender neutral, Casserole. Okay, so name your kids Casserole. There we go. If you want to. So what is a foodstuff that you think would also work as a person's name? It could also be a drink, although I don't encourage you to name your kids Coke, for many reasons. Okay, and with that, I'm going to head off for now. So until next time, thank you very much for listening, and take very good care of yourself.